What is happening, everybody? Sir Joseph coming your way. So I just finished a big podcast type video about con- how I contracted COVID-19 and how I survived it and other stuff like that. And it included a whole bunch of superfluous uh, content that maybe didn't really get to the point too much. It was kind of rambly. You can go ahead and watch that one if you want. It's good. You should watch/listen to it. This one's going to be more of a direct survival guide. So let's get right into it. So first, what happened to me? Or symptoms I got. Okay, so the symptoms I got was slight fever for a couple days, dry cough, constant throat clearing, we'll say that. For a few hours, and lack of smell for like 8 days. So those are the symptoms I had. Mild symptoms. These are mild. These are mild symptoms. Actually, get rid of the numbering. I said get rid of the fucking numbering. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do now is make a little survival guide, like it says up on the screen, for people with mild symptoms. Alright, what to do. So this is going to be like a little guide that you can follow if you've tested positive for COVID-19 and you have mild symptoms. If you have anything that is more intense than the symptoms that I listed, feel free to watch this anyways, because it probably will help you micromanage your symptoms and actually make them symptoms a little bit less intense, because I truly believe that there is a connection between like your attitudes and the symptoms of any illness you get, not just COVID-19. So, and allow me to also preface this. I'm not a medical expert. I'm never going to claim to be a medical expert. I'm just a 38-year-old dude who survived COVID-19. That's all. This is the only credibility I have. That's all I can give you. So, what to do after contracting or after testing positive? All right, first, number one, get the negativity out of your system. Yes. So for a few hours, go ahead, freak out, contact whoever you need to contact. That's fine. Watch videos like this and be like, oh my god, that kind of stuff. That's fine. Do that and get it out of your system. Whenever we're faced with with an unfortunate event, testing positive for COVID-19 definitely being one of those, we have a tendency to think of it negatively first. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction, and that is completely normal. That is normal, as long as you don't drag it out. When you drag it out, that's when it becomes abnormal. If you deny it, then the negativity comes out in uglier ways. So the best thing to do is just get the negativity out of your system. When I tested positive, I was pretty mad because I had plans. I actually tested positive on one of my buddy's birthdays, so that sucked. So I couldn't hang out with him on his birthday because I was quarantined. And then I couldn't hang out with my family because I was going to visit them. And then I'm like, wow, well, fuck me. I tested positive, so I can't visit my friends and family. And I was gonna, I was gonna do more Uber Eats deliveries and other stuff like that. I was gonna go to the gym, and now I can't do any of that nonsense. Damn it. You know what I mean? I was more mad at that than I was freaking out. I was also kind of freaking out because I lost my sense of smell, and I was like, uh oh. But then I remembered, oh yeah, and the second thing, put things in perspective. In and calm down. Calm down. You need to calm down, like the Taylor Swift song. It's only time I'm gonna mention that woman on this channel ever. Put things in perspective. Okay, so before I lost my sense of smell, I got a slight fever for a couple days for like a weekend, and that kind of went away after I drank a whole bunch of water, and after I did a few push-ups and stuff, and then I had a dry cough, like I was like that kind of stuff, for like 3 hours or so, where I was doing that like every like few minutes. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I lost my sense of smell, and everything was fine after that. When I didn't have the sense of smell, I was still able to. My energy levels was still pretty good, and I was still able to do some. I was still able to do tasks. You know what I mean? So yeah, and my energy levels were fine. So that's when I started putting things in perspective, and I started to calm down, and I said, okay, make this an opportunity, and that's what I did. So I said these three things. So say these three things, or write them down to where you can see them every day. First one is, I am responsible. I am responsible. This is an opportunity. Something wonderful will happen today. You need to, when you contract this and you test positive for it, you need to stay positive. That's going to be the one thing that's going to help you the most. Okay? And I'm not going to talk about if you have a family, then you have to stay away from your family, that kind of shit. Of course, yes. You have your family come into your door and bring you stuff. Yeah, of course. I'm not even going to go there. There's plenty of other videos that say that, so I'm not even going to go there. So yeah, so say those three things and write them down where you can see them every day, or just say them every day. I did both. What I did actually, and I've been doing this for most of this year actually, was I have like a little notebook, and every day I write down like a paragraph, and I start every paragraph about the day with the phrase "something wonderful will happen today." And on my whiteboard, I have in all caps, "I am responsible." And when I tested positive for this, I kept saying to myself, "This is an opportunity." There you go. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Number 4. Ban the following from your life for at least 2 weeks. Social media. Current events. Oh yeah, even stuff with even COVID-19 related current events. Social media, current events, all caffeine, or yeah, sugar, and junk food. You have no time for that. You have no time for that for 2 weeks. You gotta go on a fast on all that for 2 weeks. Maybe even you will. Maybe even you'll just say, screw this. I'm just not even gonna do social media ever. You know what I mean? That's or be like, yo, bro, like I don't even care about current events anymore. Screw that. Or be like, really, do I need caffeine? Like, that kind of stuff. But at least ban those things from your life for at least 2 weeks. Those all those things stress you out a lot. Social media stresses you out more than you could possibly believe. There's a guy named, I think, Andrew Kirby, who did a pretty damn good video on social media that you should all watch. Current events, that stresses people out, and most of the time you don't really relate to any of these current events at all. So it's like, why even bother? Even if it does directly affect you, what do you do about it? Okay, then find a plan to do something about it. Caffeine, you don't need if you get enough sleep. Sugar, you don't need if you get enough sleep. Junk food, you don't need at all, ever. Now I cheat now I cheat on my diet, but I didn't cheat on my diet with junk food when I had COVID-19. No, I did not do that. I ate the same thing every day. And those things were an omelet, like 4 or 5 hours after getting up, an apple, 3 hours after that, and then I had a bowl of vegetables with jalapenos, and I had a peanut butter and jelly, had a peanut butter sandwich as dessert for that. I ate a little bit more because when you have a virus, you want to eat a little bit more so that the virus eats that instead of eating you. So yeah, eat a little more. A little more. Don't go crazy here. Eat a little more. Drink tons of water. Tons. Okay? At least 2 gallons per day. Yes, you read that right. At least 2 gallons. So 8 of these of water. This is a quart. So, yeah. 8 quarts, right? 8 quarts is a gallon. So, yeah. Eat a little bit more. A little bit more. Make sure it's as healthy as it possibly can be. Lots of protein, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. Stay away as much as you can from starch. Peanut butter sandwich is like the only starchy thing that I had. If I really felt hungry, I would make myself ramen and put a whole bunch of vegetables in it. That's fine. Tea is optional, but preferred. But preferred. But recommended. The tea I started drinking is called Yogi. They have a whole bunch of teas, obviously. The 2 that I started drinking was called Breathe Deep, and that of course supports respiratory health. And I had that after my first meal of the day, and after my last meal of the day, I would have Yogi bedtime tea, which which I guess supports a good night rest, obviously. Speaking of rest, this one's in all caps, but it has to be in all fucking caps. Alright. Pardon my language, by the way. I cuss a lot. Alright. Sleep at least 8 hours per day. And it's going to have, like, exclamation points all over. There you go. Yes, sleep at least 8 hours per day. At least 8 hours. You need to do this when you have COVID-19. No excuses on that, man. No, I don't want to hear your excuses when it comes to not sleeping enough. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I have to work. I don't care. I have kids. I don't care. I have a family. I don't care. I can't sleep because I can't sleep. Don't care. Just find a way. Find a way to sleep. Find a way. Find a way to sleep. Look up sleep guides if you have to. If you're one of these people who is like, oh, I can get by with 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, bruh, no. No, you can't. You can't. You're not, actually. Currently, you are not. Sleep is the most important thing, that you need when you have an illness like this. Sleep is the most important thing ever when it comes to respiratory illness. If you are not getting the sleep that you know you need, it's not going to end well for you. I promise. It will not end well for you. Sleep at least 8 hours a day when you have COVID-19. Do it. Do it. My God. Don't give me excuses. Don't give yourself excuses. Say to yourself, okay, no excuses, no fooling. I'm sleeping at least 8 hours a day. Per night. Or yeah, not 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, night, whatever you know what to do. What else? Take time off. Time off of obligations. But don't get too lazy. So here's what I did during my 12-day during my 12-day isolation. So I write stuff for a living, and I had a whole bunch of assignments I wanted to finish. And what I really wanted to do was get up, spend 10 hours and spend 10 hours and do all these assignments. But I remember I wrote it in my journal that I said, whenever you're sick, whenever you are not feeling good, or whenever you need to recover from something, then cut your days in half. So that's what I did. I said to myself, all right, I'm only going to, instead of spending 12 hours a day writing, I'm only going to spend 6 hours a day writing. And I did that until yesterday, which was when I finished all my assignments and when I started feeling way better. So, yeah. Don't get too lazy, but definitely take some time off. If you're in school and you catch COVID-19, talk to your teachers and professors and tell them that you caught COVID-19 and that you wish that you want to, for the betterment of your future performance, I would like to take some time off of these assignments that you've given and then do them at a later time in 3 weeks' time. That kind of stuff. Give yourself another week. Do that. Yeah, do that. If you're a student, absolutely. If you work and they still want you to work, say you work from home, you used to work in an office, now you work from home, and you catch COVID-19, your boss says, well, it doesn't matter, you're working from home anyways. Be like, no, I want to recover from this, so give me a 4-hour workload instead of an 8-hour one, if possible, every day until I recover from this. Do that. Do that. Also, back off of physical activity, but don't be completely sedentary. Again, this is for people with mild symptoms. Mild. Meaning, if you just can't smell stuff, but you can still do, tons of push-ups and squats, and you can still run and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. That's more. It doesn't mean you should, blow your brains out, but it definitely means that you should... definitely means that you can't just say, oh, I can just be sedentary. No, it means that you need to maybe cut your physical activity to a third of what you were originally doing. So let's say you do 200 push-ups a day, which is what I aim for. So what's a third of that? What is a third of that? 60, like set or 70 push-ups. So I'd be like, all right, instead of 200 push-ups a day, I'm gonna do 70, and I'm gonna do them all. I'm gonna do them like I was doing 10 push-ups like every hour while chilling at the house, while recovering from COVID-19. I'd be like, all right, it's an hour. Let me do 10 push-ups. Back to my video gaming, back to my writing, back to my, other stuff that I need to say on YouTube. Back to watching YouTube. Anyway, yeah. And then, yeah. So that's what you need to do. Number 9. This is the last one. Actually, no. Number 10, I'm going to repeat number 2. But so, do the Wim Hof Technique. Man, so late I can speak. Did I spell right? Yeah, okay. Do the Wim Hof Technique. So Wim Hof, he's a dude who I think he climbed like big mountains. He's known for like climbing like giant mountains wearing nothing but basketball shorts or something like that. I don't know. But he has a technique of where you just hold your breath for as long as you possibly can. And because COVID-19 is a respiratory illness, you need to train your lungs, right? And if you have mild symptoms, you can probably do this, and you probably should do this so that you can recover faster. So that means don't breathe out your nose or out your mouth for as long as possible. I do this every morning before I meditate and before I pray while I meditate. And the way I pray is really weird. I like visualize like a text bubble, like in a comic or in a role-playing game, in a video game. And like that's like my conversation with God. Yeah, I'm spiritual. I'm not like religious. I don't go to temple or church or anything like that. No, that's my way of being religious. That's my way of being spiritual. Is laying in bed and meditating and and trying to create like a little comic book or RPG scene with me and God. And then after I do that, I do the Wim Hof thing. So I hold my breath for as long as possible. I did this every day when I had COVID-19. I do it every day regardless. I've been doing it every day for about a year. And what I did notice that my times were a little shorter, probably because I was still panicking a little bit from COVID-19, from having that little label on me. But it still helps. So do that. Every morning, do that. And number 10, I'm going to repeat number 2 here. Put things in perspective and calm down. Calm. C-A-L-M. Down. Calm down, please. Calm down if you test positive for this. You will be okay if you believe you'll be okay. Okay, and last thing before I sign off here. So, I saw testing positive for COVID-19 as a very good opportunity. That sounds weird. That sounds like it shouldn't be. That sounds like it's not right. It's like, really? It's an opportunity? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. Because as soon as I drove away from the clinic where I tested, I said to myself, all right, so in 2 or so weeks time, I get to make a video about how to survive. What an opportunity that is. That's awesome. I can't wait for the next 12 days to pass, or 14 days, or whenever I feel better. What an opportunity that is. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will say, oh, that's nuts, man. That's nuts, man. No, man. No, if I caught this, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be like, yeah, well, you would optimize yourself, right? You would do these 10 things. Oh, let me add to number 5 here. Take vitamin C, zinc, and multivitamin. With your first meal. Add lemon slices to your water whenever you can, and drink warm water whenever you can. There. Okay, yeah. So there you go. So there's those 10 things. There's 10 things. You say, okay, I have COVID-19, and now I have these 10 things that I should do in order to get better as fast as possible. Because that's really what these 10 things are. These 10 commandments of COVID-19 recovery. Oh no, whatever. Anyways, now those are like the 10 things. Get the negative. So let's review here. So yeah, number one, get the negativity out of your system. Flush it out of your system. It's okay. Take a big massive mental diarrhea dump, and just get it out of your system. Okay, and do that for a couple hours. Don't let it drag on. The evening of your of your positive result, the negativity should be out of your system by then. Okay, and then after that, you want to put things in perspective and calm down. Calm down. Put things in perspective too. Be like, okay, I had some symptoms before I tested. Maybe these mild symptoms I'm feeling now are just the final stage of me having the virus. That's exactly what I started saying. I said, look, I feel great even though I just can't smell anything. And I had a slight fever over the weekend before I lost my sense of smell. Maybe this loss of sense of smell is just the virus slowly leaving my system. Guess what? I was right. Number 3. There are 3 phrases that you need to repeat to yourself or have available to you to where you can see them every day. I am responsible is the first one. This is an opportunity is the second one. The third one is something wonderful happened today. Those 3 things need to be part of your daily lexicon at least for the next 14 days of you testing positive for COVID-19. Number 4, right? You ban social media, so you just block it out of your life completely. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, none of that crap. YouTube, I kind of count as social media, but that's more like TV to me. If it's social media to you, then yes, then you need to cut that shit too. And no current events. No current events. You are not to the outside world does not exist to you when you have COVID-19. It should not exist. It should not exist to you at all when you have COVID-19. And ban caffeine because it'll stress you out. Alex Becker has a great video about that. Ban sugar because that will also mess with your brain a lot. And no junk food because junk food will actually make your symptoms worse. So don't do that. And then eat a little bit more than usual. A little more. Add a snack to your daily eating routine. Okay? For me, that snack was the form of an apple at 7 p.m. And then I added 2 snacks because I want to also gain some weight too. Been losing a lot more weight than I want. So I said, okay, let me eat an apple at in between my omelet and my vegetables, and then with my vegetables, I will have a peanut butter sandwich alongside the vegetables as a dessert. That's fine. Eat a little bit more so that the virus can eat that instead of eating you. Drink at least 2 gallons of water a day. At least two. That's not, there's no excuses. You can't make an excuse for that. You must drink 2 gallons of filtered water per day. City water if you have to. Bottled water is the same as city water, by the way. So get a nice filter and fill it with water and drink 2 gallons of that shit per day. You can, if you want tea, great. If you don't want it, that's fine. But I recommend it. And vitamin C, zinc, and multivitamins, you must take those from here on in after contracting COVID-19. Make that a lifestyle choice, please. And when you drink your water, add lemon juice and lemon slices to your water whenever you can. Drink it warm whenever you can. Number 6 is the most important one, and that is sleep. You must sleep 8 hours a day. 8. Don't make me keep punching my leg, please. Sleep at least 8 hours a day. Just do it. Just do it, please. For the love of your own health. If you have obligations, school, work, other shit, business, take a little bit of time off, but don't get too lazy. Cut your days in half. That's what I did. Until you feel a little bit better, then you do a little bit more. Same thing with physical activity. If you do a whole bunch of, if you do like, okay, let's say you do 200 push-ups a day. Okay, well now from the time you've tested positive until you get better, you can max out at 70. Same with other stuff, squats. Same with running. If you like running, then you probably swap that out for just walking a little bit longer than you run. I would say that kind of stuff. Don't get too lazy. Don't be completely sedentary. Being sedentary is really bad for you. That kind of stuff. Do the Wim Hof Technique also. That's the second to last thing. Wim Hof Technique is you hold your breath for as long as possible, and you get a timer, you set it next to you, you hold your damn breath, and see how long you can do without taking any breaths. And then one thing I want to add to that is when you let your breath out, don't cough it out. Like I'll do here. Let me do real quickly. Here's what I mean by the Wim Hof technique. So I'm gonna hold my breath right now. Ready? I'm gonna take a really big breath too before you hold it in, obviously. So I'm gonna do probably about 20 seconds. We'll see. That's a proper technique there. That's the breathing technique you want to do. Don't rush to get the breath out. Like slow with your nose, not your mouth. Nose. Use your nose when you do the breathing technique. It's way easier. And last one, I gotta repeat it. Put things in perspective. Calm down. COVID-19 is not cancer. It's not terminal. You won't need to get a million treatments for it. Especially if you have mild symptoms. If you have mild symptoms, that's a good thing. It means you're probably just gonna get better anyways. Okay? It's not like the doctors told you that your heart is like too big to pump blood to your brain, and now you got and then you might die tomorrow, and you might not die at all. You know what I mean? No. COVID-19 is a respiratory illness. It's just like any other given respiratory illnesses. There are hundreds of them out there. And the best thing you can do is to calm down. if you test positive for this. All right, I'm done. Hope you found this very entertaining or informative. I try to be both. Yeah. Again, if you want to watch the longer video, go for it. But if not, here's a little survival guide for those who have mild symptoms. I will see you in the next stream or video. Take care, be safe, and stay healthy. Take care, everybody.